So you want to make 10K. You've clicked on this video, you've seen the title, 10K would be nice in my bank account. The first 10K, because what we want to do is we want to get many 10K months. So you look at prop firms, you're probably already in trading and you think it's going to be very, very easy. But in this video, I want to break down a few myths, a few false lies and false narratives that you see across all social media, a lot of flexing, a lot of this, to try and get you involved. But I want to make sure that what you take from this video is the path for you to get to your first 10K months. Now, if you want to full port, if you want to full port contracts, if you want to trade news and try and gamble, this video is not for you. There is plenty of that short form dopamine content. Otherwise, for the immature people, this is not for you. So please don't waste your time. Click off this video and don't waste my time. Now, if you want to get into trading and you want to make that first 10K month, it is very, very possible. And prop firms have just become the thing over the last 2 to 3, 4 years. Now, I've been trading prop firms for only about 2.5 years. Before, it was my own capital for around about a total of 9 years. And now it's gave everybody the opportunity to make money very, very fast. But there is a reason why the likes of Top Step and Apex and all these other prop firms make monthly revenue of $25 million. They have the edge. And if you don't understand what you are doing, you are going to be the one that pays me and pays the rest of our community each and every month. So buckle up, sit tight. I want you to understand what I'm going to tell you. Take some notes, and I'm going to give you a plan, very simple plan, for you to get to your first 10K months. Now, firstly, the full porting and the max contracts that I've mentioned about now is only going to work once every so often, and it's not sustainable, and you're not going to be able to be a profitable trader. Because what you're going to do over that time of trying to gamble your way to where you need to get to, you're going to form negative, bad habits along the way, which are going to be very, very hard to unwire as you go on your trading journey once you want to become disciplined. Now, when someone comes with a blank canvas to myself, it's a lot easier for me to coach, because they don't have any bad habits from trading. They only have habits and belief systems from their previous career or life or childhood or whatever it may be. But when you develop bad trading habits like full porting, gambling, max contract size, trying to pass in a day, you're just building and building bad habits, which in turn are going to have to be unwired anyway. So it's going to take you a lot longer. Now, let me jump into why prop firms are good, and obviously why they work for many and why they don't work for the majority. Now, first things first, prop firms are gamified. You must understand that when you're coming to this industry, that you are coming into a gamified environment. Now, it doesn't mean if you're great at gaming, I don't game or anything like that, but it doesn't mean if you're great at gaming, you're going to be able to come in and be great at trading. No, I'm talking the platforms on an emotional and a psychological triggering form are gamified. Now, that causes you to hit dopamine hits all the time. That's why red and green are the main colors. Green is for greed, red is for fear. That's why you'll start to change the color of your candles and you'll come away from reds and greens. But there are also rules, and there are strict rules. These become restricted. They're restricted payouts. They're restricted contract size, how many days you must trade, how many days, minimum days you can't trade, and obviously drawdown, which is the biggest problem across all platforms. Now, trailing drawdown is what's going to mess you up. End of day drawdown is what you want to go with. So make sure you go with end of day drawdown. Now, I've got plenty of videos on the emotional control and the discipline, etc., and all those things that are around what you need to do and need to become to be a profitable trader. I'm not going to go into that in the video. I have got tens and tens of videos on this channel, so make sure you go and watch those videos, because this channel is making sure that you get to that next level of trading. That's what happens with our students, our members, clients, whatever you want to call them. We take them to a level where they have the knowledge and start to get payouts. And big shout out to the community. I know you're watching this because you support the channel as always. Now, got some few notes here that I need to just keep looking down on my phone. Trading prop firms is going to define your success via the trading style that you have. So for example, if you have a trading style that may not be suitable for certain prop firms, you're going to have to move to different prop firms. Now, a lot of traders get banned if they're like scalpers on higher term timeframes. If they go full port and let it run, and then they've been scalping for a month, they'll get banned. So first things first is you need to identify what type of trader you are. If you are the gambling trader, you're more than likely going to get banned and you're not going to get payout. You see these people talking about, oh, my payout got denied. This is a scam. This is a scam. It's more than likely it's because they did not do what they were supposed to be doing on these trading platforms. Now, there are trading platforms that are scams. You do get denied payouts. I've been denied payouts and you've never broken a rule, but they'll find something and they tend to be a scams. But majority of them, especially the big ones, they will pay out if you follow each and every rule. So what you need to define is, does my strategy and my edge, is it good for that certain platform? That's the main thing that you need to be looking at. Do you have the data to prove that your strategy is good enough for you to make consistent profits? So again, I've spoke about discipline, I spoke about self-awareness, I spoke about all these types of things, and you're never going to be perfect. I am far from perfect, far from perfect. I have vices, I have, but they're very limited. I do things that you shouldn't be doing at times. I'm far from perfect, but you try and do the things that you need to do each day in your life to make sure that your trading is going to be at the highest level. You're always going to be a victim of certain things. Of course, you're human. Depends on your testosterone, depends on your dopamine, depends on your estrogen if you're female, etc., and things like this. If they're high, you're going to be chasing certain things as you're going along on this journey. But be okay with that. That is human, that is you, and just be self-aware of that. Again, many videos on that discipline. So first things first, we must have a strategy that has an edge, that you have data before you even buy a prop firm challenge. Why would you even be buying a prop firm challenge if you don't even have a strategy? Because that, my friend, is gambling. And the majority of people that you see that are giving Top Step 25 million a month and Apex 20 million a month and paying traders like myself and people in our community each month are because, and this may be you don't even have an edge. And you're going in and you're buying an $89 Top Step account or whoever it may be, and you think this is the account that's going to make me rich. But all you're going to be doing is going around in circles and keep paying that and jump into a different platform and keep paying that. So first things first, my friends, if you don't have a strategy that has been proven, and that's a short period of paper trading, short period of journaling some results, just so you know that it works over a period of time. If you don't have that, you should not be even trading anyway. You should not be trying to have the lottery ticket mindset in trying to take profits out of a prop firm, because you will not win. You just won't win. You might win once every 6 months and feel lucky, and you might get your money back that you've wasted for the last 6 months. Don't do that. Get educated, get a strategy that works, and take trading seriously for what it actually is, and ignore the nonsense that you see on the short form content. All right? A lot of that, 90% of that, 99% of that stuff that you see on short form content is a load of nonsense. Get away from that. Now, if you go down the correct route of trading prop firms, it can change your life. Like I said, I was trading my own funds for a long time, over $30,000 in the red, started to go full time and take it seriously. And that's when it started to turn with me. Then I hit prop firms. Then I went into futures prop firms. Now, futures prop firms has become very, very popular because Forex traders, especially in the States and these countries where they had Forex regulations, have now jumped in. It's cheaper. They can copy trade and do all those things. And now the industry has gone through the roof. And that's why Forex firms jumped into futures. Unfortunately, with that, you're going to get the way that Forex traders used to trade and all this thing that they used to do now coming into futures, because futures used to be seen as kind of like the gentleman's club. And now it's been a little bit tarnished because of what's gone on. But that's fine. All we're here to do is make money, okay? We shall not judge. Now, let's jump into the process, okay? I'm going to jump into the process. I want you to remember this one thing. And this is one thing that plays on my mind each and every day with conversations that I have, with how I'm trying to live my life. And this is one quote I want you to remember. Slow is fast, but fast is slow. Slow is fast, but fast is slow. Now, let me briefly tell you what that means very, very quickly. When we are trying to go fast in everything that we do, those wants elude us. Okay, it's very, very annoying. We say we want to make 10K a month. So we feel that we need to keep chasing the money to get to that 10K payout, that 10K a month, whatever it may be. So we try and go fast and we try and force the issue. This can be in anything. We try and force the issue and it just keeps eluding us and going further and further and further away. But if we go, and it takes longer, so it might take 6 months, it might take a year. But if we go slow, you feel like it's taking longer, but you actually get to your goal quicker than if you try and do it fast. So fast is slow, slow is fast, and fast is slow. I want you to remember that. Every day, write it down, put it wherever you need to get to, because you need to do the slow process of each day to get where you need to get to. So let's break down kind of like the structure, the maths. This is very, very simple stuff, by the way. Okay, this is very, very simple. I'm not going into too much detail, but I just want you to kind of think, well, how can I do this in this way? The simple thing is, once you understand that you have a strategy, you get one eval, which is an evaluation, combine, whatever you want to call it, whatever firm that you go with, right? That's what you're going to go with. And you're going to start with, it might be a 25K, it might be a 50K. But once you've got that, you're going to start with $150 loss. So you've got many trades in a row where it can go wrong. You shouldn't blow that account. You should not blow that account. The only time you blow accounts, myself and anybody that's in our community, and by the way, if you need any help with this and you want me to show you over a 12-week period how you can go from not understanding how charts work, or if you're struggling to get payouts and you need to get that payout, there's a link below. Again, it's application only. We only work with a certain amount of people per month. You can get that community and I can help you get funded and get to 10K per month. There's a link below. Now, let's get back into the juicy stuff. $150 per risk. Now, some of you are going to switch off there, right there, because you're chasing some green Lamborghini with a woman that you want to hire, take to a restaurant that you can't afford, buy some diamond out Rolex and devalue that poor Rolex by putting loads of diamonds on it, and pimping out and putting neon lights on some classic Range Rover. This is not for you, I must stress. Now, if you stayed around after I've just gave you that mini rant, and you may not have been offended, you're going to risk $150 because you are a risk manager. You are not just a trader, you are a risk manager. Now, and you have one account. It's going to cost you $89, $77 on My Funded Futures, or $78 on Lucid. It's going to cost you one payment. Now, that one payment might take you a month, might take you 2 months, but it's one payment. You're going to pass that account with $150 risk, looking for a 2R. Might be a 1.7R, might be a 1. But you're looking for a 2R if your strategy gives you that room. I can't tell you about your strategy, but my strategy is going to be able to give me a 2R. You're going to then pass that one account. Your aim is to take that one account to its first payout. Its first payout will probably be around about $500 to $1,000. That's what you're going to do. Now that might take you, if you have an edge, that will take you no more than 30 days. If you was trading regular, no more than 30 days, 20 trading days. If you have an edge. If you don't have an edge, it may take you longer, which is fine. Say it takes you 2 months, no problem, 2 months. Once you pass that, you're going to get your payout, and that first payout will probably take you a month. So say the worst case scenario, it takes you from now until the end of March. The worst case scenario, from now to the end of March. You're going to invest that first payout into now multiple accounts. And you're going to get a trade copier. You might be able to do it on one platform. You might want to use Tradeovate. You might be on Top Step and link 5 accounts. You might be doing what I do. You might use Trade Copier and try and get to whatever, right? But you're going to purchase these other accounts, and you're going to do the same process with these other 3 or 4 accounts. But you're not going to concentrate on the P&L. You're going to concentrate on the process of only one account that is the leader account. Your emotions will be all over the place if you're looking at the combined P&L. Look at the one count P&L at the end of the day. That's it. That's then going to bring you to 5 multiple accounts. You're going to do exactly the same process on that 5 multiple accounts, and then you're going to take another payout on those 5 accounts. Now, what you're going to do on these 5 accounts is you're only going to try and get $1,000, which is $5,000. If you get more, excellent. But we're going to do, you could go quick and try and get the 10,000. We're going to take that $5,000 and we're going to get more accounts. We're going to treat ourselves. We're going to buy books. We're going to educate ourselves. We're going to get into shape. We're going to do the things that we've wanted to do. We're going to treat ourselves, and we're going to buy 5 other accounts, and we're going to have the same process. So now we have a multiple of 10 accounts, but in your mind, you must see it as one. That now means that you only need to make $1,000 within a month on your leader account in profits for you to take a $10,000 payout. That might take you 5 months. Now, the question you might say is, well, Fran, 5 months? Whoa, 5 months. It might be May by the time I can do that, but I wanted to go traveling with some profits, or I wanted to buy a car, or I needed to pay my rent. Stop right there. That's the wrong thinking. Wrong thinking. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I know someone who took 2 payouts last year, 60,000 and 60,000 around their full-time job. 2 payouts. 2 payouts. That's $120,000. Okay? Because it's a process. The question I need to ask you when you ask me that, Fran, that might take too long. How long have you been trying to make 10K so far? I bet it's longer than 6 months. I can pretty much guarantee it's taking you longer than 6 months because you're trying to go fast. You're trying to force the issue. You don't have data. You don't have a strategy. And you're being gamified and lured in by all these cheap offers on different platforms each week, and you don't know what you're actually doing because you don't have a process. So what I've learned as I've got older, because I was unwilling and arrogant and egotistical to learn in my 20s, all right? But what I've learned as I've got older, that I'm never going to be able to completely control everything, every dopamine and every emotional trade and become some stoic monk. I'm never going to be able to do that. But what I can do is systemize and structure the things that I want to try and achieve. Because that then allows me to be self-aware of the vice or the rebel or whatever is trying to come involved. And that is hard. And you will become a victim of that. All right? But again, as I've said earlier, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're never going to be this perfect person. You're never going to be this perfect trader. Okay? And if you keep saying to yourself that's how you're going to be, then you're suffocating who you actually are. So be aware of who you actually are in your trade and in your day-to-day. Follow a structured plan in what you're trying to do, and you will make that 10K. Now, this is not your normal, mundane, excitement, dopamine video, as you would probably find some hit 10K and, I don't know, do something stupid. This is a very structured way that you can do this. And copy trading, some people don't like it, some people do. I'm just talking from my experience. Copy trading is the smartest way to get to where you need to get to at a reasonable time. It is the fastest time, but it's reasonable, and it must align with how you are on an individual basis internally.